Hi, it's mystery author Ellie Alexander, and I am so excited to welcome you into my Torte Test Kitchen, where food meets fiction. I am not a professional pastry chef, but I play one in the pages of my Bake Shop Mysteries, and this week I have a special guest in the kitchen with me. This is my friend Rosanna of Mama Bella's Biscotti.
Biscotti.
Oh, see?
Close enough.
No. We're gonna learn this week how to make a classic Italian espresso, and we're gonna talk about
Biscotti.
So stay tuned. So excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here and honored.
I cannot even wait to dive into espresso. Now, as we know from my Bake Shop Mysteries, Jules and her team at Torte are always trying to elevate their coffee game. And so this week, you are going to teach me how to make
Espresso.
I'm not going to try the accent because I'm going to butcher it. So in the Bake Shop Mysteries too, Andy is sort of my coffee aficionado. So I feel like if Andy were here in real life, he would just be like, teach me what you know, coffee master.
Coffee master. So I don't know that I'm a coffee master, but what I do have is I have an upbringing of Italian parents, and they were from Italy. And I grew up basically with this on the stove, the kitchen stove, and every day, my mom, every morning, she would make her cup of espresso. And
Just one?
Actually, no. Do you know what? She would drink at least one whole espresso machine a day.
Okay.
And you know what? She would drink it in the morning, first thing when she got up, sometime during the day.
Okay.
And then before she went to sleep at night, she would say, okay, now it's time for me to relax. I'll have
Another espresso.
And I would think, how do you do that?
Yeah.
But I think it was her kind of coming home, her time for herself and to really reflect on the day and just be grateful for the joy of life. So that's kind of the impression she gave us growing up.
I love that. And that
beautiful.
so speaks to kind of what I talk about in the series, that coffee, yes, sure, it's a vehicle for caffeine, but it's more than that, right? It's culture.
Oh my gosh.
It's process.
Yeah. Oh my, if you go to Naples, so my mom was from Napoli in Italy. And you've been, and you know, when you go to an Italian bar, the bars are espresso bars, you know, and so you go in, it's like, hey, ciao, and everybody knows you, and it's to start your day. But it's also like life affirming. It's like, okay, how you doing today? You're present, you're here, let's start the day. And there's something about it that really brings people together and also gives them like that needed little pickup, not only with caffeine, but also within themselves. So when they stop to get an espresso, you know, if you're having a hard day, it's like, let me just go in and, okay, I can keep going.
I got this.
You know,
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a little bit about what I feel my experience of the culture, the Italian culture, has been with coffee.
Now, I love that. Now, for me, as someone who drinks a little bit of caffeine in the morning, but then I switched to decaf in the afternoon.
Yes.
How much are you getting in this jobby job here?
Isn't it? This one's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
So this we would use when we had people over, you know, guests. So I use this for company because this would make probably 8 to 10 espresso cups. And of course, we're talking, you know, espresso. So
I
we're not
know.
talking. They're so cute.
They're so
aren't they?
dainty.
I love these.
Cheers
It's
to
like,
that.
So this would make a lot of coffee. So for everyday use, we have this size, but there's also another size up, you know. So it really depends what you like. But all of them, you know, kind of reflect a different feeling and character. This is more everyday. It's just kind of beat up. It's okay, you know. It's my buddy.
It's sturdy.
And yeah, this one's just a happy color. I love keeping that on the stove. We actually kept it on the stove growing up, and I keep mine on the stove. It's a connection to that something.
Absolutely.
Yes, a connection.
And now, once we make the espresso, we have to have
Biscotti.
Biscotti.
So, these biscotti, you know, I grew up as well. Biscotti actually means cookies, you know, in English. But these in particular, you know, I grew up with my mom, my dad, you know, always dunking, you know, a little bit of biscotti in your espresso. And my grandpa used to dunk them in his wine.
I'm down with that idea. We're going to have to sample that. Okay, well, I say without further ado,
yes,
let's make some espresso.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
such a beautiful and really simple process.
Yes, yes.
So now I'm excited to do the next step, which is the dunk.
The dunk.
And I want to talk a little bit about Mama Bella's biscotti.
Okay.
Correct.
Biscotti.
I know. Okay. So you are launching this week here in Southern Oregon.
Yes.
And I just think it's so inspiring because I know I get a lot of feedback from readers who are like, I want to write a book. I know that's true for other people. Like, I want to start something. Like, how did you decide to just take the leap?
Oh my
It's
gosh.
scary too, right?
It
Yeah.
is so scary, and it's still scary.
Right.
But one of our good friends once said to us, "It's not scary, it's thrilling," and that truly is.
Yeah.
It's energizing and it's life-giving.
Yeah, and on that note, like for me, I know, and I've talked a little bit about this with readers, but I did a lot of serious work in the world. I worked in an early intervention program for many years, and then I worked for the Alzheimer's Association. So when I kind of felt that stirring in my soul of I think I want to write a mystery, it was hard to do that transition. And I know you're kind of in a similar field, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm still working in my field, and that field is spiritual care. I work in hospice.
Yeah.
And so I visit people every day, most days. Now I kind of cut back on my hours so that I could do both.
Yeah.
I could follow this part of life that is really just like what the heck, as a little kid I love to bake, and it does bring me so much joy. And if there's anything I am learning and continue to learn from my visits and really listening to people's stories, that's really what I do, in spiritual care. Really listen to people's stories and be present to their stories, is I really notice how important it is to really do what brings us joy in our lifetime.
Absolutely.
And so I have to say that I continue to love my work in spiritual care because it does inspire me to continue to do what brings me joy. And so taking that leap, yes, it's scary and thrilling. And so I'm doing both. It's a great balance. If I can share or bring some joy through biscotti, through what brings me joy and what I've been raised with in my family, then that is just the most beautiful and the most life-giving thing that I feel I could share with the world. And so
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you bring us to dunk today?
So today, I have two flavors of biscotti.
Okay.
The first one is, I call it the original, and because it's I call her, every biscotti has every biscotto. Oh, so biscotti, I'd like to share something with you.
Yes, please.
So the word biscotti means cookies in Italian, like we said, and one cookie is biscotto.
Biscotto is singular.
Singular, yes.
Okay.
Biscotti is plural and biscotto is singular. So each biscotto that I make has a name, and so the original, which is with anise seeds.
I love anise, yes, okay.
And almonds.
Okay.
So that's like our tradition
Classic.
that I grew up with, yeah. And that one is called the Mamma Bella.
The Mamma Bella.
So my mom was Tina, so we might put in parentheses like OG Tina.
OG
maybe not.
Tina.
But, and so the other flavor we have is orange cardamom.
My favorite.
Per request, yes, so to honor you and your favorite. So again, this is so fun. So please, mangia, dai.
Okay, so I literally,
oops,
my wine is on it. I literally just take one. I'm gonna go with the original first.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
The Mamma Bella.
I'm gonna go with your favorite.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And then, do we break it or do we just dunk?
No, just okay. So you have your biscotti and you go.
And you go.
You go.
You go.
Okay, a little bit. You just do what you want.
Okay.
And then you take a bite.
Okay, so now the super secret, mysterious way that I had never heard of before having the pleasure of getting to know you and have you as a friend is that you can also dunk it in wine.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
That is so much fun. In fact, that's like, when you think the party's over, no, it's just beginning.
Okay.
So, you can dunk. So, what do we have? Today we have some red wine.
Red wine, yep. Yes,
wine?
please. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just pour a red wine. And you're saying we can do this with any wine, but red is...
trust yourself.
Okay.
If you like it, do it.
Okay.
If it doesn't taste good, don't do it.
Okay.
What can I say?
Right.
But, I love it with red wine. Now, I'm going to tell you that's good luck. It means someone's here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm going to say in Siena, in Tuscany, actually Prato, they have the cantuccini. And they're also, they look like a biscotto,
Okay.
but they're a little bit smaller. And they dunk that in vin santo. It's like a sweet kind of dessert wine.
like a port. Oh,
Absolutely,
okay,
absolutely. So my grandpa, my nonno, I didn't know anything about vin santo when I was a kid. I was a little kid. But what he did is after dinner, okay, the biscotti come out and he'd start dunking his wine. You know, so again, I grew up with that you dunk your biscotto in your wine.
Okay.
So why not? Let's try.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get one of my favorite
Beautiful.
orange cardamom.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And I'm going to get the anise almond Mamma Bella.
Okay.
And now, salute.
Salute.
Okay.
And we dunk.
We
Do we hold it for a while?
No, don't hold it.
No,
Just
don't
go
hold
do
it.
what you want.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming to my Torte Test Kitchen and teaching me how to make traditional Italian espresso, as well as this new technique that's going to be my favorite. And Mama Bella's biscotti.
Biscotti.
If you're in Southern Oregon, come see Mama Bella at the Jacksonville Market this Sunday, and I'll have links and all the information to share.
Thank you so much. Truly, you're such a gift, and it's been a joy to be here.
So fun.
Thank you.
As always, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notified whenever I share new videos. Happy baking! Dunk!